Joan was a simple peasant girl from Domremy, tending sheep in war-torn France. The 100 Years' War raged on, and the French were desperate for hope. At 13, Joan saw a blinding light and heard a voice she believed was from God. The voice told her she was chosen to save France. As a teenager, Joan left her family and village behind. Guided by faith and courage, she set out to change the fate of France. Joan's journey from a quiet village to legend was just beginning. At 16, Joan left home, seeking help from a local commander who laughed at her. Undeterred, she persisted until he agreed to send her to the Dauphin Charles. Disguised in men's clothes, Joan traveled through dangerous territory to reach the royal court. Charles tested her by hiding among his courtiers, but Joan recognized him instantly, declaring her divine mission. Impressed, Charles had her questioned by churchmen who found her faith genuine. Desperate for hope, Charles gave Joan an army, white armor, and a banner. The city of Orléans was under siege. If it fell, France might be lost. Joan's arrival inspired the weary French soldiers. She led from the front, not with a sword, but with her banner and unshakable faith. In just 9 days, the siege was broken, and the English fled. Joan became a national hero, known as the Maid of Orléans. Her courage and conviction turned the tide of war. She proved that faith and determination could inspire an entire nation. Joan's leadership brought hope where there had been only despair. The impossible had happened. A teenage girl had led France to victory. Her legend grew with every step. Joan's mission was far from over. She had become the symbol of a nation's fight for freedom. The Maid of Orléans had changed the course of history. Her journey was only just beginning. France had found its miracle. Joan's destiny was unfolding. After Orléans, Joan insisted Charles be crowned king in Reims, deep in enemy territory. Many doubted her, but Joan's confidence persuaded Charles to march. Towns surrendered without a fight, inspired by Joan's reputation as a divine messenger. In July 1429, Charles was crowned King Charles VII, with Joan by his side. She had fulfilled her mission. France had a true king. Joan wanted to return home, but the king and his advisors refused. They used her fame to continue the war, but soon distanced themselves from her. In May 1430, Joan was captured outside Compiègne by Burgundian soldiers allied with the English. The town gates closed behind her. Some say she was abandoned. King Charles made no effort to rescue her. The girl who had given him his crown was left to her fate. Joan was betrayed by those she had served. Her greatest victory was followed by her greatest loss. The king's silence sealed her doom. Joan's story took a tragic turn. Joan, now a prisoner, was sold to the English and put on trial for heresy. The English wanted to destroy her reputation and discredit Charles's coronation. The trial was a sham. Joan faced hostile judges, no lawyer, and months of harsh questioning. They tried to trap her with complex questions about her visions and faith. Despite intimidation, Joan answered with courage and clarity. Her simple faith confounded her accusers. Under pressure, she signed a confession she didn't understand, promising to wear women's clothes. But her guards forced her back into men's clothes, a trap. The court declared her a relapsed heretic and sentenced her to death. Joan was condemned not for her actions, but for her unwavering faith. The trial was a political tool, not a search for truth. Joan faced her fate with dignity. Her enemies thought they could erase her legacy, but Joan's courage would outlast their judgment. The world would remember her. On May 30th, 1431, Joan was burned at the stake in Rouen, only 19 years old. She faced death with courage, praying until the end. Her execution shocked even her enemies. The English tried to erase her memory, scattering her ashes in the Seine, but Joan's story lived on, inspiring the French to fight on. 22 years later, France was free, the English driven out, as Joan had foretold. Decades after her death, a new trial cleared her name and declared her a martyr. Joan became a symbol of courage, faith, and French identity. Her legend grew, inspiring art, literature, and generations to come. In 1920, the Catholic Church declared her a saint. The peasant girl who heard voices became Saint Joan of Arc. Her faith changed history. Her courage still inspires the world. Joan's story is a timeless reminder of the power of belief. One girl's faith lit a fire that could never be extinguished.